The date was April 22, 2025. The place was Pahalgam, a town nestled in the scenic landscapes of Jammu and Kashmir. On this day, peace was shattered by a brutal terrorist attack. The violence was indiscriminate and cruel. It resulted in the tragic loss of 26 innocent civilian lives. This horrific act sent shockwaves of grief and anger across the entire Indian nation. The attack demanded immediate attention. It also signaled the need for a resolute response from the Indian government. The tranquility of the valley was grievously disturbed by this calculated act of terror. Investigations into the heinous attack commenced without delay. The evidence gathered by Indian agencies began to paint a clear picture. The origins of this barbaric act were traced back to militant groups. These groups were found to be operating from within Pakistani territory. Unfortunately, this was not an unprecedented discovery. Similar links had been established in past incidents of cross-border terrorism. However, the sheer scale and the brazen audacity of the Pahalgam attack were particularly alarming. The Indian government found itself under immense domestic pressure to act decisively and effectively. The international community also watched the unfolding situation with considerable concern, aware of the implications for regional stability. This particular attack in Pahalgam felt different from previous provocations. There was a palpable sense of national outrage. A strong demand for accountability echoed throughout the country. India had, of course, faced such challenges before. Often its responses had been characterized by caution and strategic restraint. But the prevailing mood in India during April 2025 was noticeably shifting. The nation expected a response that would not only deliver justice for the victims, but also serve as a powerful deterrent against future acts of aggression. The strategic calculus was clearly undergoing a significant transformation. A new, more assertive approach was deemed necessary, making this event a potential turning point in India's security policy. The Indian leadership carefully considered its options. It was resolved that a strong and unambiguous message had to be sent to those responsible. A purely defensive posture, it was concluded, would be insufficient to address the gravity of the situation. The planned response would be multifaceted and comprehensive. It would involve the coordinated efforts of various arms of the Indian military. This response was designed to showcase India's enhanced capabilities and its unwavering resolve to protect its citizens and its sovereignty. This decision set the stage for what would soon be known across the region and the world as Operation Sindoor, an operation that would significantly involve the Indian Army, the Air Force and, crucially, the Indian Navy. India's comprehensive answer to the terrorist attack in Pahalgam was codenamed Operation Sindoor. This was not a single isolated action. Instead, it comprised a series of meticulously planned and executed military maneuvers. In the initial phase, the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force took the lead. They were responsible for land-based and aerial responses. These forces conducted a total of 24 precision strikes. These strikes were aimed at 9 specifically identified targets. The targets primarily consisted of terrorist infrastructure, including training camps and launch pads. Some of these sites were located in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, while others were situated deeper within Pakistan itself, signaling a new and more assertive level of engagement from India. A crucial and perhaps the most defining element of Operation Sindoor was the remarkably swift and decisive role played by the Indian Navy. The naval forces mobilized with extraordinary speed and efficiency. Within a mere 96 hours following the devastating attack on April 22, the Indian Navy had achieved a full high-alert posture. This rapid deployment was quite unprecedented in its swiftness when compared to previous crises. It served as a clear demonstration of a new level of preparedness. It also showcased the enhanced operational readiness of India's maritime forces. The Navy was poised and ready to address any contingency that might arise from the escalating situation. This quick action immediately sent a powerful strategic message to adversaries. Why was this rapid naval mobilization considered so critical to India's overall strategy? It effectively transformed the strategic landscape of the crisis almost instantaneously. The deployment was not merely a symbolic show of force or a routine naval exercise. It was a carefully calculated strategic move. This move was designed to secure India's extensive maritime interests. It also aimed to apply significant diplomatic and military pressure from the sea. The Arabian Sea quickly became a focal point of these naval operations. The strong presence of the Indian Navy severely limited Pakistan's operational options at sea. It effectively created a maritime cordon, restricting movement and signaling control over the waters. This preemptive positioning was absolutely key to controlling further escalation of the conflict. Key assets from the Indian Navy's formidable fleet were central to this rapid and effective deployment. The nation's indigenous aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, played a prominent and visible part in Operation Sindoor. Its presence in the Arabian Sea, along with other powerful destroyers, stealth frigates, submarines, and long-range maritime patrol aircraft, was a potent symbol of India's growing naval might. This deployment was not just about the number of vessels, it was a clear statement about the advanced technological capabilities at India's disposal. The entire exercise communicated India's serious intent. It showed its capacity to project power far from its own shores if necessary. The message was unmistakable. India was prepared and willing to utilize all elements of its national power to protect its interests. The Indian Navy's primary mission throughout Operation Sindoor was to establish effective deterrence. This critical objective was achieved through a forward-deployed and robust presence in the strategic waters of the Arabian Sea. The very sight of Indian warships, operating at a high state of readiness and demonstrating their capabilities, successfully discouraged the Pakistan Navy. They were effectively deterred from venturing out into the open sea in any significant strength. This assertion of maritime dominance by the Indian Navy confined potential naval threats. It also played a crucial role in preventing the conflict from spreading to the naval domain, which could have had unpredictable and dangerous consequences. This, in itself, was a significant strategic victory for India early in the crisis. To further underscore its preparedness and to send an even clearer message, the Indian Navy conducted a series of tactical exercises in the Arabian Sea. These were not routine training drills. They were carefully orchestrated and highly visible maneuvers. These exercises were specifically designed to demonstrate advanced combat readiness and sophisticated operational capabilities. They sent an unambiguous signal directly to Pakistan's military leadership. They showcased India's clear ability to control the maritime environment and to respond to any challenges. The exercises covered a wide range of scenarios, from complex anti-submarine warfare operations to seamlessly coordinated fleet movements, presenting a clear display of India's expanding naval prowess and its ability to sustain operations. Informational superiority was another vital cornerstone of the Indian Navy's success during Operation Sindoor. This crucial advantage was achieved through the effective use of an integrated sea surveillance architecture. This complex and multi-layered system combined inputs from various sources. These included extensive coastal radar networks and advanced satellite surveillance capabilities. Naval intelligence operatives on the ground and at sea provided crucial, timely data. Furthermore, airborne maritime assets, such as the P-81 Neptune long-range maritime reconnaissance aircraft, offered real-time eyes and ears over vast expanses of the ocean. This comprehensive network provided a near-complete operational picture of Pakistan Navy movements, enabling proactive decision-making and denying any element of surprise to the adversary. Beyond direct military posturing and actions, the Indian Navy's operations during this period carried significant strategic messaging weight. Through its determined actions, India signaled its enhanced capability to impose considerable costs on both state and non-state actors responsible for aggression. Importantly, this strong signaling was achieved while simultaneously maintaining a posture of strategic restraint, avoiding unnecessary escalation. The latent strike capability of the Indian Navy served as a powerful, unspoken deterrent. The implicit ability to threaten critical Pakistani infrastructure such as the major port of Karachi and its vital fuel facilities was a key factor. This underlying threat persuaded Pakistan to refrain from escalating the conflict further, as they understood the potentially severe economic and military consequences. Operation Sindoor, in April 2025, marked a very clear and significant departure from the pattern of previous confrontations between India and Pakistan. Historically, conflicts and crises involving the two nations had primarily been land-centric. The Indian Army bore the brunt of these engagements, with the Indian Air Force playing a crucial supporting or, at times, an independent offensive role. The 2025 response, however, was notably different. It was characterized by its prominent and arguably decisive naval component. The Indian Navy was not merely an auxiliary force in this crisis, it was positioned as central to India's overall strategic response. This fundamental shift highlighted an evolving understanding within India of comprehensive national security. It recognized the increasingly critical importance of the maritime domain in modern conflict. The Indian Navy's rapid mobilization, achieving full operational readiness within an astonishing 96 hours of the Pahalgam attack, was a genuine game-changer. This unprecedented swiftness, when combined with the Navy's sophisticated and integrated surveillance capabilities, proved to be absolutely crucial in the early stages of the crisis. These elements together shaped the conflict's trajectory from the very outset. The Navy's proactive and assertive actions helped to contain the crisis effectively. They played a vital role in preventing it from spiraling out of control into a larger, more destructive and unpredictable conventional war. By establishing and maintaining control over the key maritime spaces, India effectively limited Pakistan's strategic options and was able to manage the escalation ladder with greater precision and confidence. This was a demonstration of proactive conflict management. The strategic outcomes that emerged from Operation Sindoor were profound and far-reaching. The Indian Navy's assertive posture and its well-executed actions in the Arabian Sea were pivotal to the overall success of India's response. These actions successfully deterred significant Pakistani naval activity. Furthermore, they played a key role in preventing any further escalation of the conflict from Pakistan's side. The entire operation served as a powerful and undeniable demonstration of India's significantly enhanced maritime capabilities. It unequivocally underscored the growing importance and relevance of naval power in influencing regional conflict scenarios. This was a lesson noted by military strategists and international observers around the world, highlighting India's naval advancements and strategic foresight. Looking towards the future, the success of the Indian Navy in Operation Sindoor holds vital and enduring lessons for India's national security strategy. The operation effectively established a new template for how India might respond to grave provocations. This new template clearly integrates naval power as a central and indispensable element of crisis response. The events of April 2025 underscored the undeniable truth that a strong, agile, and technologically advanced Navy is absolutely indispensable for safeguarding India's diverse and expanding interests, for effectively deterring aggression from any quarter, and for maintaining peace and stability in the increasingly contested Indian Ocean region. The crisis and India's response have indeed reshaped the calculus of power projection and deterrence in this vital maritime space, with the Indian Navy firmly at its heart.